Staring at the screen, the colors spin. Just a wait screen, where do I begin? This isn't a show, it's just a delay. Still here you are, you decided to stay. It's not a movie, ain't no special guest, just a wait screen, not the very best. Yet you're glued, anticipation's high for the stream to start. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Yes, it's late, we'll be starting soon. In this digital world we croon for the content we've yet to see. On a wait screen, stuck in reverie. Don't you worry, soon it will commence. Right now you're here at my expense. Just a teaser, a colorful jest. It's a wait screen, you know the rest. Patience is a virtue, they say, but this wait screen's making you sway to a tune only time can keep. As you watch, half awake, half asleep. Oh, the seconds tick, but the fun's on hold. The wait screen's tale is getting old. But just hang tight, don't click away. The show will start, come what may. Don't you worry, soon it will commence. Right now you're here at my expense for the content we've yet to see. On a wait screen, stuck in reverie. Don't you worry, soon it will commence. Right now you're here at my expense. Just a teaser, a colorful jest. It's a wait screen, you know the rest. Don't you worry, soon it will commence. Right now you're here at my expense. Just a teaser, a colorful jest. It's a wait screen, you know the rest. Patience is a virtue, so they say, but this wait screen's making you sway to a tune only time can keep. As you watch, half awake, half asleep. Oh, the seconds tick, but the fun's on hold. The wait screen's tale is getting old. But just hang tight, don't click away. The show will start, come what may. The wait screen's tale is getting old. But just hang tight, don't click away. The show will start, come what may. Staring at the screen, the colors spin. Just a wait screen, where do I begin? This isn't a show, it's just a delay. Still here you are, you decided to stay. It's not a movie, ain't no special guest. Just a wait screen, not the very best. Yet you're glued, anticipation's high for grim to start. Oh my, yes, this wait screen will be starting late. In this digital world that we create for the content we've yet to see. On a wait screen, stuck in reverie. Don't you worry, soon it will commence. Right now you're here at my expense. Just a teaser, a colorful jest. It's a wait screen, you know the rest. Don't you worry, soon it will commence. Right now you're here at my expense. Just a teaser, a colorful jest. It's always screen, you know the rest. Don't you worry, soon it will commence. Right now you're here at my expense. Just a teaser, a colorful jest. It's always screen, you know the rest. Staring at
Welcome to Mob Rules, your every other week dose of competitive Warhammer nonsense and vintage hobby progress segments that people pretend to enjoy. I am John, your host, joined as always by
Danny
and
Dickie.
Gotta work on that, guys.
Sorry.
You'll notice that not only have we changed,
you reminded us that we were doing that too, and not just put us on the spot
every time. Yeah.
Yep. This is more than just a background change, Sherman. We are live today because I went to see a football match over the weekend. Just didn't get around to it. Because turns out, if you spend all Sunday out of town drinking cheap lager, you don't get much else done.
Interesting.
a dull boy that does not make, John.
No. And especially when, well, it's one of those wonderful things when you're outside a stadium and you buy a beer. And they're like, that's $7. And I'm like, that's a really good price because I know it's 20 inside the stadium. So you pregame a little bit outside and then you go in and you're like, well, I'm thirsty now. Shit.
I think it's funny because really, when I look at the background, we didn't really change much. Like, there's not a lot of change.
Well, I don't have any buttons to press now. So draw that down. You added some bondage chains.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Yeah.
Before we move on from this, so you're saying you don't have any buttons to push?
That's right.
All. Right.
That's a button.
Not a single button. That is a touchpad, which is entirely different.
Oh, that's not a button.
No, that's not a button.
Even a soft button?
No. Well, this would be a button.
He's muted.
Really hear what I'm saying when I hit that button.
Sneeze button.
Yeah. Sherman's right. There's a lot more chains. We are looking good. We have very little planned for today because all of my prep time was taken up this week by doing other things.
By drinking.
Including, and it's so beautiful. I made a little Optimus Prime. It made me happy.
There is a lot more change, Sherman. Yeah, I agree. And one's attached to Danny. That's pretty good. I use the same.
Oh, yeah. I see that. You couldn't attach anything to the chain that disappears into nothing above his head?
I was thinking a logo of some type, but we need maybe sponsors. We're gonna be like one of those race cars. We're gonna put so many goddamn sponsors on this thing.
They told me I couldn't eat until we got more sponsors, you guys. So I'm trapped in this.
It's true.
Trying to generate interest.
Narrative Neville wants to know if this is where he comes to inquire about Big Dick Smokes.
Oh,
guys, you want to understand? That's from an entirely different show, completely different from the one you're watching now.
Yeah.
That was a reference to the fact that in the 18th century, Dickie's family owned a tobacco farm.
Oh, for God's sakes!
I'm sorry, 19th century.
Jesus Christ.
In the mid 1900s, is that a better way of phrasing it?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, good.
They had this giant plantation home.
Imagine
I'll let you all fill in the gaps. They were in Virginia. They recently moved to Canada.
Don't pay attention to the face of Dickie's puppet. I think that's an important thing.
It's a shadow. It's a shadow in here.
Yeah. Welcome to Mob Rules. It is very similar to Grim, except I don't go through shitty parts of the community trying to find jokes. Instead, The joke is, one, my ability to play Warhammer, which stays at a drastically low level. And then two, we're up to, where we're going, all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dickie, you seem to have lined up a joke there.
No joke. So someone said, well, we still have lettuce on lip, and don't worry.
Yeah,
we still have lettuce on lip.
Oh, maybe that can go attached to your chain to nowhere. It's just a single picture of David.
Now it's over Danny.
We'll make it smaller. Doing it live.
They said that was scientifically impossible.
Oh, my heart, Daddy. God damn. But yeah, what a week it's been in 40K and even 30K, which is the best kind since 40K adjacent. We have more new 30K stuff coming, more information about the Saturn IX Terminators that Danny, I know we're going to talk about a little bit just because we're excited about it for varying reasons. We have a single new Black Templar character that's probably going to be pretty mid, but is in that heroic like
+1 OC to his unit, John.
If he just does that, it's going to be awful. But I really hope that he does more than that. I mean, I hope.
Me too.
You never know.
Who would know?
Who knows?
We're going to talk a little bit about the balance update that came and all the changes that came to competitive 40K. But let's start it off with just the classic hobby progress.
Oh my God, we're doing that?
We are. We're just sarcastically for one, but I for one am very proud. This week I built 6 Blade Guard. And well, yeah. Nice. So I replaced all of their swords with spears, just so I can be a special boy and argue about line of sight at the table. So I can be like, well, you wouldn't be able to see him if he was holding the sword. So let's stop talking about it. And other such interesting conversations, but they look sick. It's a scheme I stole off of a Reddit post that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll just do the really high quality. That boy.
Oh, he's gold.
Yeah.
Beautiful, John.
He's gold already. Finally, a use for the spears that came with the Sanguinary Guard. Because Lord knows you're not putting them on Sanguinary Guard. So they got to go somewhere. Danny, what you been up to?
Well, I started getting paint on my models for Tacoma more. Although I did have another model to build this week. I built this little ATV guy here.
Yeah, look at that guy.
Oh, that doesn't look like Thousand Suns.
Old head on the driver. That's a conversion, John. He's got Raven.
I literally just showed you a conversion. Why are you explaining it to me?
John, do you know what a conversion is?
Is that when you kit bash? I don't know your Imperial terms.
I don't know what a kit bash is, whatever that is, whatever that means. John, I know that I took pieces from one kit, gently put them onto another kit, no bashing required. And what I get is an entirely unique model, John. I don't think anybody.
Almost like a caressing swap.
Yeah. It's very gentle, John. I'm a gentleman.
Consensual.
I also got some paint on a repulsor. I painted that bad boy green.
Nice.
So it's just got to have details and some highlights, and already done.
I mean, I will say, just to echo Nurgle Matt and chat a little bit here, that doesn't sound like an Emperor's Children list to me. Now, I don't know Space Marines very well, but like a hooded ATV and a repulsor.
Yeah. Look, we can talk about it in the balance data slate, but my Emperor's Children list was like a finely tuned machine, John. Only one grain of sand, i.e. 100 more points that it costed, could really throws off the entire balance of the room, becomes infinitely less good. So I'm just going to call it a day, John, right there, and I'm going to move on to a different
like John Lennon figured it out because he won the GW Edmonton with Emperor's Children.
Well, good for him, man. That's great.
Oh, Danny, are you going to take that?
The event that had no streaming?
It had streaming. Well, it didn't have streaming the first day.
Oh, okay. So we don't even know if John Lennon really won this event.
Oh, he was there on Sunday when the stream figured itself out last round of day 1. So
you're telling me that people like John Lennon can just show up to an event whatever day they want and declare themselves winner?
Well, I mean,
Because you said he showed up on Sunday.
Well, no, like the stream showed up on Sunday.
Is this that frontline thing where you got like you didn't have to show up the first day if you were like high enough?
If you paid
seated?
extra, yeah. If you pay extra, you don't have to show up for the Friday event. Yeah.
What level of money would you guys pay to skip the first 2 rounds of a GT?
Oh, those are actually the
like
first round's scary.
With like 90 and O's.
How much extra would I pay?
Mm-hmm.
I'd pay like 30% extra in order to dodge the first 2 rounds.
Oh, $50, huh, Danny?
John, you'd have to. It's an infinite amount of money you'd have to be able to pay me for me to skip those first 2 rounds.
Wow.
It's important to me that I win all of my rounds convincingly, as well as legally. And if I wasn't going to win those rounds myself, then I don't deserve to win the event, John.
It's the term.
Okay. All right.
Unlike apparently Art of War will just pay and have their guys skip days.
I think that's the
weirdly.
story we're pushing out here is Art of War pays events.
Pays to
skip
win.
rounds.
Yeah.
And the streams
This is the best
mysteriously running.
pop rolls again ever. I just have to say that.
I was gonna say I have nothing planned. I know I messaged Dickie. He's like, "Oh, we can talk about this to fill time." I'm like, "We'll probably be fine." So this is one of the reasons.
Jack Quinn says John won with Mauler Fiends.
Yep, he had
Hey,
2
let me
Maulers.
know where you can get a Mauler Fiend from because I'm pretty sure they're extinct in the wild.
Hey,
yeah,
this guy actually know I sold all mine before I moved. Damn it!
I have 1, Danny. I could help you out with 1.
Pass.
Okay, every pass.
But yeah, so Dickie with that unique take. The Emperor's Children are good because someone who plays 40K full time and gets paid for it is really good with an army that he's paid.
Running a completely different list than me. Yeah. Thank you, Dickie. I really appreciate that.
No problem, buddy. I got you.
Very helpful.
Dickie, I'm sorry you've slotted right into the Dave position of just instantly being the target of our ire.
Did Dave had all the power in order to mute you and turn you upside down and turn you green and stuff?
I mean, in his head.
Oh, okay.
You have the technical power to do that if you want. If you want to turn me green, I'll turn into an orc. I don't care.
Yeah,
I was thinking more Hulk. Get yourself all sad and everything. But yeah, so you shifted, and we'll maybe talk about it later, to Dark Angels. Started to get your Tacoma stuff ready. Dickie, you have painted thousands of points of demons.
Oh, dude. So I took a hobby break. So before the Ottawa Teams event, I painted 30 Bloodletters, 10 Jack Heels, Scarbrand, little baby Scarbrand, that cute little son of a gun. And what else?
Scarbrand is like exactly.
Look how cute he is.
He's about the same size as Optimus Prime's jetpack that he used in one episode.
That makes sense. Yeah, so I'm just taking a bit of a hobby break because Dickie wants a hobby break. That's why.
I don't know, like if anyone check out OnlyHans or our kind of filler week hobby stream that we do. The entire show last week was just me modeling while Dickie did production work in the background.
Yeah, I was just building this scene basically.
It was that much of a hobby break.
Wow.
And that base is not rimmed. Thanks for being an asshole, Mark. Always good to know that you're never going to live something down. But what is rimmed? Your mom.
Oh.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
It's a soft rim.
Not after your mom. But yeah, so you're taking a little hobby break. What is sort of your next thing to get ready for?
Dude, well, WT, so we have a practice event for WTC, but I don't have any events booked until September now.
So you heard it here first. If you want to book Dickie for your event,
yeah,
I'm about to give out his personal cell phone number.
Yeah, 1122112.
I don't know how many numbers are in Canadian phone numbers, so I'm going to assume that's correct. Josh, hey, welcome, Josh, in chat. Did I ever go back and rim Angron? No, I did not.
No, he literally sent him in, and that was the end of it.
Well,
Has he ever been on the table to play? Have you ever played with Mangron?
So a couple times. I've used the Primarchs I have to play with my 6-year-old. So I'll set up like the cool big models, and we'll do like little slap downs and everything. But every time I've sat to actually do an emperor, a world eater's army around Angron,
Yeah.
like I've squirrel got distracted so quickly. Like Chaos Knights took over a couple of years, then I'm like, okay, now we're gonna do it. And then Necrons took over for like a year, and now I'm like neck deep in Blood Angels. So it seems like that's very world eaters adjacent. So that'll probably be my next leap. But I will take him out just so I can tell people, hey, yeah, this guy was on Warhammer Community.
No, I've been I really enjoyed that Demonkin detachment out of World Eaters. I don't think I'm going to move from that faction for a little bit. It was so much fun. So I think I'm going to keep going with that after my WTC adventure.
What percentage of you not moving is because you just don't want to paint another model?
I mean, it's more. I'm okay to paint. Like I have gore. What are they? Gore mongers on my painting table that I'll get done. I had an idea for so my hell brutes for Leviathan dreadnoughts. And I thought they turned out really well. So I think I want to do another hell brute as a Leviathan. So one more, and those bloody things are very expensive. Those Forge World kits. So, So I'll get one more of those, and then I'll probably be good for a bit. But yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break. What's gonna really happen? So I've prepared nothing. Is I'm gonna play an ad sound, and we're gonna just awkwardly sit here on camera, and try and figure out what to do. Grim After Dark was always about promoting the visual aspect over the audio aspect to fuck over the audio listener.
Yeah,
well, bros, we're flipping that aspect.
Whoa, okay.
This is all audio stuff to screw over the viewer. So yeah, we will be right back.
A standard bolt gun? Having trouble maintaining an acceptable Xenos kill count? Only barely over 2 meters tall? Maybe it's time to ask your lieutenant if the Rubicon Primaris is right for you. The Rubicon Primaris is a prescription process that helps you to update that tired look. You may notice an increase in your purging abilities within 2 to 4 hours. You may experience loss of life, additional organs, and a points increase. Do not take the Rubicon if you plan on fitting into rhinos, drop pods, or other traditional vehicles. The Rubicon Primaris is not intended for second founding chapters. The Rubicon Primaris is for use on genetically enhanced super soldiers over the age of 800 only. You are encouraged to report negative side effects to your company's apothecary. The Rubicon Primaris. Because sometimes plot armor is just not enough.
I mean, that's a classic. But the one thing it did remind me of, plot armor is always enough in Warhammer. I think it's one of the negative things about the setting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Armor of contempt, really. Really
God, I enjoy that rule now, but I still hate it. It's stupid when people use it against me.
I enjoy this stratagem now that I have access to it, but I hate it in the background and every other place. And
we can move that over to, say, like a Chaos Knight list. I think that would be perfectly fine and balanced.
I'm pretty sure they do have Armor of Contempt in one of the detachments.
I think all I really want from a Chaos Knight detachment is walk through walls and terror shades. And if I can't have those, the army's fundamentally broken and I don't want to play it anymore.
You mean if you don't have those in the same detachment?
Yeah. Fundamentally broken, don't want to play it anymore.
I see.
Fair enough.
Terrible. But 30K news for this week. Danny, you asked before we went on, and we're just going to pull it up here.
Yep.
Saturn IX is coming. The new edition for 30K is launching with the chunkiest possible boys. These Saturn IX Terminators. Dickie, I don't know if you're keeping your mouth open for a reason or if you're pulling something up here. I just looked down and you're like...
He's been trying to relax that muscle, John, and, just to ease up on the tension in his body.
And then, so we have these absolutely goofy looking guys.
Not that bad.
I think they look cool.
What is it that makes them look cool to you? Is it that they're shaped like an egg?
Very stout. Like they look like they could lift a lot of
Shaped
things.
like a what?
An egg.
No.
Look, John, you can disparage Dr. Robotnik as much as you want, but that he was an iconic part of the Sonic universe. Especially that one time he impregnated Sonic. That was particularly
That was the beautiful part.
Yeah,
So
it was a really climatic ending to the story, I thought.
I don't think they've leaned Saturn IX Terminators back to back. I don't think they've leaned they've not leaned heavily enough into the goofiness of them.
They're goofy.
Because
Do you find that because of the position the person walking in it would have to be?
Well, it's just they could have made them more over the top, and I know that sounds bizarre because they have like the giant shoulders and all these different things. But I feel they should be like a little bit more hunched, and like the weight of the shoulder pads is like breaking their spine. I do enjoy the ridiculous size of the Iron Halo.
It's very long.
It's
big.
very large.
Like you know exactly what the guy you're trying to shoot at when they're on the battlefield. Like shoot that guy.
True.
Luckily, it's like he points himself out on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I do enjoy a lot of the rules leaks that are coming up for 30K right now. These guys, these chunks explode on 6s, and for some reason I've latched onto the meme of wanting my entire army to just explode.
Sure.
So reading that these guys explode on 6s instantly make them less goofy for me.
Yeah.
Are their shoulder pads supposed to be like power generators or something? Is that what they're supposed to be?
Well,
Maybe
the
geo generators.
power comes from the bottom. Dickie,
The power bottom is what you're saying?
Yeah. These Terminators.
So from like the leg area, you feel like they're
They generate thrust
Oh,
from the legs. Just true power bottoms.
yeah.
Well, so what do the shoulders do then, John, in your universe?
Just for show. They're just for show.
Like a 1980s TV drama. They are just to show how powerful they are.
Oh man,
I like to think of these guys as like uncut Terminators.
Bitslinger gets it so right. So Bitslinger says the name of that Fifth Element race. Yeah, dude, they do.
Yeah, they do look like those guys with the goose head.
What is their name? Oh man,
I'm
do
sorry.
look like that.
I'm too distracted by Danny having circumcised and uncircumcised Terminators.
Oh, cut or uncut? Yeah.
Oh, just imagine showing up at your 30K table and Danny's your opponent and you're reading your list out and you're like, yeah, I got some Terminators. And it's like, oh, cut or uncut.
Cut or uncut.
That'll happen now for sure. So I thought of ways people could use these. Obviously, someone brought up Centurions. I think that these would make a great Centurion stand.
They're big boys too, right? Like they're quite.
Oh yeah, they are chunky.
And I also think that they'd potentially make really nice, less techno organic virus obliterators.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like less heretical Chaos Space Marines, like recently.
Yeah, sure, like just less mutated, you know.
Yeah, that'd be dope for those.
Because you could give them double guns if you wanted to, or there's a gun that you can attach to their power fist. Because obliterators still have those.
Yeah.
And I think you could like shave them down and kind of like the eagle, like get rid of the eagle on their chest. And I don't know. I think it looks pretty good.
I did see a picture with the Dreadnought variation of this, and that guy is stupidly large.
Is he here? Or is he on the?
He is not. But he is about double the size of an old box knot.
Okay.
Height-wise, so he's a chunky boy.
He's bigger than a Telemon.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
Crib Shadow is asking, has GW run out of ideas for models for Heresy if they made the Egg Terminators?
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
Look how much. That's so much bigger, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% have run out, and that's okay. Because some of these old ideas do need revisited. Because if you remember the original Saturn IX Terminators, those guys look ridiculous.
They look really stupid.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
these guys look like stupid in a fun way. But
They're
the
like
old Saturn Terminators look stupid in a sad way, you guys.
they're like murderous armadillos.
I love it.
Murderous armadillos.
You can just like roll it up in the ball.
That's actually how they travel, John, is they
They roll. They roll like an armadillo.
They tuck their legs in and then they just kind of roll sideways.
Like, what are the shoulder pads for? Well, that's for travel.
They roll sideways? Did they roll sideways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they have the edge on the top of their shoulder pad like that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a bouncy ball, put it on a 60mm base, and be like, this is my Saturn IX Terminator conversion.
That makes so much sense.
The shoulders are for movement. The legs are for power.
Power bottom.
Power bottoms the whole time. Teddy, what else you got about Saturn IX?
John, I think it's cool that they're releasing a unit that has double guns. That's a Terminator. They
Mhm.
haven't really done that ever with no close combat option.
Nope.
You can give them a power fist, but you can also
I'll be a coward.
give them either twin of whatever weapon or the disintegrator or the, what is it, some kind of plasma bombard or something.
That thing looks badass. Yeah, that gun.
Yeah. So
can you give them
and
double?
Also, there's like 4 different heads for each guy.
But can you give them double fist?
No, John, you can't. They can only fist with
fist.
one of their hands at a time.
Because I feel they would look
People
ridiculous
find
fisting with
That's
one hand.
pretty usual for fisting.
But like because their shoulders are so large, they can't really raise their hands, so they would just be like flailing side to side, like the dude from Scary
Just
Movie
kind of like
2.
stick their arm out, like to the side, and then just rotate it so that they punch, like so.
Oh,
You can't see me,
Roadhouse.
but that's just my head. But yeah,
That's beautiful. And then for 40K as well, to keep Dickie on the spot here, there is a brand new Black Templar model coming.
And they announced this is. I love how they're saying at some point it's coming. They don't actually tell us when. They just said, hey, it's coming.
it's real soon.
Guys, you do have to realize it's been almost a month and a half since the Space Marine release, and the player base is starting to get worried. The Space Marines aren't going to get updated like at all.
Dude, this guy's gonna give 1 OC like a goddamn boss. All right, look at him.
I'm
Plus
excited.
1 OC.
Looks awesome.
He does look awesome. He does fall into the Templar trap of everyone holding something up high in their right hand.
That's right.
But I think right now that's probably just going to be written into the lore. That Dorn said to keep your right hand high, and they're like, "Well, shit, I guess I have to do that now." That's perfect. Kim, guess
fists, a successor of them, John. So that does sort of make an amount of sense. Can we check out that Codex cover, Dickie? Can you enhance that?
Enhance. Is it AI art? That's what people were accusing it of.
I saw that, and probably not. But that helmet looks real stupid.
I think it's just incredibly stylized.
It's because it has the little sheet on the back of it. Looks like.
Does that make your head less wide? Like because Danny's wearing a hat, does that make his head smaller?
Yes.
You got bowl cut McGee over here.
Oh my god! I went to school with that guy in the 90s.
I was that guy in the 90s.
Why is this guy the cool guy with the banner in the back? Like that guy should be foreground, bro.
Well, he's not with the banner. He's got a pistol in his hand. He's charging forward.
Oh, the banner is in the background.
Enemy.
Yeah, the banner's even further back.
Yeah, but it's not just the thing. People were saying the chaplain has like a shovel. His Crozius looks like a shovel.
It does
It's
kind
just
of
a
look
shitty
like
angle.
Kind of looks like a shovel. It does. But
it does look like a shovel quite a bit.
It kind of does look like a shovel.
That guy's helmet really is what really bothers me, though. That
Dig
it's
for
just,
the Emperor.
Well, he's just like, what is with the top of it? I don't understand what the artist was thinking for that.
What's happened is someone drew a beautiful full page sheet, and then GW went in and cut out the background and made it more purple, so the front guy stood out more, and added a little Black Templar symbol. And somehow the head disappeared.
Yeah,
that might have happened.
That's giving me a ton of credit and thought. It might also be that the artist was like sitting there like, oh, this is pretty good. And then GW's like, hey, you're supposed to turn that in an hour ago, bud. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Oh, I wasn't finished with the head yet.
Yeah, let me just whip something up real quick.
Guys, sometimes when you submit something to Games Workshop to be displayed or sold even, you forget little bits here and there. Half of a head, a rim on a base. A
dangly bit glued onto a belt upside down, John.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us. So I do appreciate Danny's sympathy, Azrael, that he put on GW's site with the upside down belt piece. Be like, see, you did it too. Falcon Hunter, that haircut is heresy. Get out.
The guy had a bowl cut because
never forget the sculpts with upside down bolters. That's true. That also happened. Yeah. So I don't think it's AI. It's just GW getting some cool art and then
It's
just
not the
missing.
worst. It's not the worst Codex I've seen, but it's
No. I mean, but it's the worst in 10th, I think, probably.
yeah. The helmet is a bit sus. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the next episode. Dickie, jot that down. We're gonna do a Hasselhoff tier listing of Codex cover art.
Oh, perfect.
Ooh, I like that.
This you usually have to wait for only hands for stuff like this. Production meetings are just all the time now.
It's just going to happen, John. At any moment, we can just be like,
Inspiration could
A
strike.
production meeting can happen at any
production
moment.
meeting, new segment.
It's part of our
Production
annual.
meeting. We're failing.
It's part of our annual Mr. Gad training here. Is part of the safety and security is understanding that production meetings can happen at any time.
Yeah.
Danny was quite annoyed in court one day when we called one, and we're just like, "Well, you've seen him for 10 minutes." I'd be like, "What do you think of this green?"
Yeah, he's not. He was not happy about that.
Not happy about that whatsoever.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I made it up.
I see.
That happens. It happens. But Dickie,
Yeah.
what do you have for us today?
We are having a new game. Hey, you guys excited?
Wait. I got something.
I just learned the old game, Dickie.
Well, too bad, Danny. It's
Wait.
time for new stuff. Where'd John go? He just left. John's not ready for the new game yet.
What's happening?
Temporarily quit
Temporary quit because there's a new game.
because there's a new game.
John's been furloughed, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's.
This wonderful pack I was able to get as well.
Oh, I got pack 2. They sold out real fast, but
Real fast.
still got them.
Thanks, New Zealand.
Thanks. We have the 2025-2026 Tournament Companion, and we'll be talking about all the notable changes.
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
The term companion reminds me of like how your parents would talk to gay couples in the 60s.
They're
Like,
friends.
this is Charles's roommate. They're friends.
They're friends.
This is his companion.
Oh dear. Anywho, we have some notable change, so I'm just gonna go through kind of the big changes, and you guys feel free to add your funny banter in between all of these. So attached units and actions. There's a few items that focus on attached units, and it's been a problem for people basically the whole edition. Just kind of very quickly, the first item is that a unit with an attached character that does an action. The attached unit is killed. The remaining character is still doing and then can complete the action. Before, it wasn't 100% clear, so they just kind of cleared that up. Marked for death, the secondary. Everyone remembers what it is. Which one do you kill? So marked for death and attached units. So the FAQ specifically calls out, so you have to kill the unit and one of the leader units. So back in the day, a couple weeks ago, a week ago,
Back in the day. Back in 2025.
Yeah, exactly. Back a week ago, you had to kill the full unit and both characters. Now they're specifically
Wore an
saying only
onion
have
on
to
my
kill.
belt because it was the style at the time.
Yeah. So you just have to kill that one character.
We called characters special flops.
Yay! The other marked for death is you can't pick attached leaders, obviously. So you can't go, okay, you have to kill, Grimaldus in this unit of 20 Crusaders. You have to pick the full unit, of course. So yeah.
Did anyone ever try and pull that on you, Dickie?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, me either.
I feel like if they tried, I would be like, fuck yourself. No.
Yeah. People are assholes, so I'm sure Chumman tried it.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So
I'm sure
Terraform has changed.
Let me just say, people are assholes as long as you let them be assholes.
True. Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Terraform, big change. That's a big change.
Yeah, so now you can kind of battle over that terraformed objective. So it's a lot more interactive. And basically, if you went first and you had super fast units or units that scouted, you didn't just get a whole bunch of points just for doing something really fast. So now it's more of a back and forth. This was true for last edition, but they just put this in here specifically. So when you on ritual, where you create the objectives that are wholly within no man's land, outside of 6 inches from another objective, you measure from the center of the objective marker. So the pin, not the edge. Why was that important? I don't know. I guess you just got another inch. I don't know. It's not bad.
Ask Tyler Bortel. I bet he knows,
Mhm.
because there's some triangle math there for the amount that you
Sure.
can get into.
Tyler, if you ever listen to the show, tell us.
He doesn't.
Okay.
No. He has taste.
Sabotage. This is maybe not a change, more of a clarification. So sabotage only requires your unit not to be within your deployment zone, but the terrain piece could be partially within your deployment zone. Just as long as you can touch that terrain piece outside of your deployment zone, you're good to go. Okay.
Dickie is a professional competitive coach.
Okay. Yeah. Professional.
What do you make of these changes? Does these seem like a lot of little touches and clarifications more than anything else?
Yeah, I don't. I think they're fine. I think it's just kind of cleaning up the rules, which is a good thing. I think the biggest issue that Old World has is there's a lot of gray area with rules sometimes. And 40K is really trying to batten down the hatches and make sure that no, this is exactly what this means.
Danny, would you say that's one of the things you love most about Old World is the discussion phase, where you try and litigate
It's
why
not.
you're
I played with Danny. It's not his favorite.
I mean, yeah, people are allowed to have different opinions than me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're wrong, but like, you know,
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know where you were taking me there. I'm like, wait, they're allowed different opinions? Oh, but
they're allowed to have
correct.
those
But
opinions,
they're
but
wrong.
I'm not. Yeah, I just, you know, I don't. Yeah, you know, come on, John.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we had some. I think for one of the major ones are the secondary mission changes. Yep.
Ooh, Dickie's excited about that.
Can we all pour one out for containment? That goddamn card that you pretty much scored 6 points on every time you pulled it. Can we pour one out? John, pour
I
one
mean,
out.
Not me, but
this is a 12-year-old Glenlivet. I'm not pouring it out. I'll sip.
Fair
I'll
enough.
sip for containment, but that's it. Like,
So containment has been removed from the game.
Good.
There's now 19 cards in your secondary pack. So when you're counting them up, John, I know you do that before your game because you're a good player. You count up 19 secondary cards.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's also so I can order them in a way that's beneficial to me based on the matchup.
That's right. So a returning.
John, how many times has the opponent asked to cut your deck?
Doesn't that happen every time?
Oh no! So what happens is I start the game by like, oh, I'm just going to use the app, okay, and then I'll pretend to have issues with the app, and then pull out the deck.
Oh man, extended containment, crazy! What a good
I wasn't
round.
expecting there to be like that detailed of a plan, but there are.
Well, I'm going to tell you why that's a flawed strategy nowadays, John. So,
Well, as you can tell, it's done me wonders so far with my whole 0 GT wins.
yeah, exactly. They
In
brought
4
back
years.
an old favorite, Tempting Target. So this is pick a no man's land objective. So opponent picks a no man's land objective, and you score 5 victory points at the end of the player's turn. So
Oh, thank God they have to control it. You just, based on your description of how that was scored,
you just pick.
you said you just picked an objective
Well, no,
and
you
then
have to
scored
control
5
it. Yeah,
points.
you have to. You can't. Come on now.
Just that one.
There's also a brand new one that's been an interesting conversation point. Something called Display of Might. So Display of Might's a new secondary where you score four victory points at the end of the turn if you have more units than your opponent in no man's land.
This is a great one for me, turn 1. This is a bad one for me, turn 2 onwards when my army's dead.
Yeah. This
I'm ready for it. Any
this
turn.
is just an MSU fanboy secondary, I guess, right? So
I like that your display of might can just be 4 scout squads.
yeah. Or a
Look how
couple
strong
if
all the
you play
little lads
Space
are.
Wolves, some of those dumb dog units. Yeah, man. It's
Yeah, dude.
The display of might is just a dog show happening in the center of the
man.
table.
Exactly. So the other one is probably the most hated card that I always seem to pull. Marked for Death, turn 1. There's
Oh, yeah,
actually
no.
a new addition. It's something called the Gamma. So your opponent chooses 3 alpha units that you have to kill for the 5 points. But then
A
you,
cuck unit.
yeah, you get to choose the cuck unit, which is your
Mhm.
gimme my 2 goddamn points for the stupid card secondary. So you pick a Gamma, which is nice.
Oh, I like that change. I
Yeah.
haven't read too much deeply into these. I always didn't super like Mark for Death because it was getting to a point for me with Mark for Death that when I pulled it, I could tell my opponent what units he was going to pick before he told me.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, that one, right?
Those ones on objectives, yeah.
Yeah.
Those ones, yeah. Okay, so recover assets, a big change here. So recover assets used to finish at the end of your opponent's turn, now finishes at the end of your turn. So it's
Well, that's nice.
a lot easier to do.
Is it
Call-
me or do a lot of the secondaries have changed up to finish on your turn?
Yes.
some sabotage is still the end of your opponent's turn, but there are some that are just a lot easier.
Yeah, which ones are like that, Dickie? It's that one. Is cleanse like that, or is that finished at the end of your turn
No
too?
cleanses at the end of your turn. So
Yeah.
I think legitimately the only one is
Good job, sabotage.
sabotage. Yeah.
Huh.
Good.
Cull has been reduced, so now it's starting strength of 13 plus, and that is including attached units.
That's a good change because far too many times, like call the Horde's been pulled, and you're just like, well, I can't score that. So
Yeah. So it is. It is can't score a display of might on turn 1. Yes, you're right, Jack. You can't do it on turn 1.
sure, if you follow the rules.
If you follow it, but John cheats, so he can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Dickie's telling me the card is just that one, and you get 5 points.
There's more words to it. I'm just trying to keep this moving. You know what I mean? Keep it moving, baby.
Buddy, we got 20 minutes to go. You were doing fine.
Okay, so here is the big frustration. So this is the thing that we're probably going to spend the most time on. They're called challenger cards. Okay, so each deck of cards has 9 of these bad boys, and you and your opponent use those 9 cards together as a unit. Starting on battle round 2, if you pick a challenger at the start of the command phase, and whoever is behind by 6 points. So John, you just had an 11-point turn. You're feeling great about life.
Mhm. Danny
No.
had a 17-point turn, though.
No, Danny unfortunately only got a 5 on his turn.
What? That doesn't sound right.
So at least make your examples believable here, Dickie.
But you know what? Good news. Danny gets a challenger card. And that challenger card has 2 possibilities. The first item is you can use it as a stratagem. And we'll talk through the burst of speed and focused effort card in a second. But you get a stratagem, or you get a kind of like a secondary or third secondary card that you get to score. Most of the cards are quite easily to achieve, like kill 2 models from 2 units, or be in no man's land, or be out, like 1 unit is outside of 18 inches of another model, kind of like, so they're very easy to get.
Models in 2 or more units from your army made 1 or more attacks against the same enemy unit and did a wound.
Yeah.
3 victory points. You did a wound by shooting your whole army at them.
Yeah. So they're not hard to achieve, but sometimes the stratagem is better than, like, it may change the game state. It may do something, but for the most part, from practice, it seems like challenger cards are just a win less. So if you're really good at the game and you're winning by a billion, this is the challenger just kind of helps your opponent keep up, basically, in the game.
These are nuts. I'm going through them here.
Yeah. What? Tell us one that don't do burst of speed. Do another one.
So I'm just looking at the renewed focus.
Mhm.
Reroll a hit roll of 1 and a wound roll of 1. Which each time a model in your unit, so it's not so everyone's rerolling. So
everyone's rerolling.
I thought I was special with the moment, but apparently not. We can just challenger card it when we're losing. Or 1 unit from your army that is more than 15 inches away from all other units in your army just gets 3 VP.
Yes. So all you had to do was
And
just be further away.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
looking-
just antisocial.
I'm looking at my it's the antisocial, the strategy, or the mission.
Yeah.
I'm looking over at my Blood Angels list right now. It's in various stages with its 25 jump packs. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, these truly, when they did the designer notes, they're just here to try to keep the games closer. That is how I don't know how you look at that, whether it's good or bad.
If
These
you're
are
more than
part of the game.
18 inches away, 3 victory points.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just don't have your whole goddamn army.
Oh well, now you've lost me, Dickie. I'm not
Just
doing
don't make the Space Marine battle pile, John.
Yeah.
But that's
Not even a thing anymore, really.
the big gay pile center is what I love.
Burst of speed was quite interesting. So the stratagem, so it's burst of speed or focused effort. So use this at the end of your shooting phase. 1 unit from your army, excluding units that have which have moved this phase. No bonus. So they can't like battle focus and then do this. You make a normal D6 shoot and scoot, baby. And that's like, think of like your giant knight could do this, or I don't know, like a big F-off tank could kind of poke his nose out, shoot, and then hide again. So there's a lot of interesting play with this. The mission, complete that.
Can you deep strike something and then D6 scoot in your shooting phase and then make a 8 to 3 inch charge?
Doesn't say they're not eligible to charge, right?
It just says your unit can make a normal but cannot move again this phase.
Yeah, so that I don't believe they can charge after this. You would have to look at the card specifically, but
So I'm looking at the card right now. Purchased from James Workshop himself.
yeah, you can't move again this phase. Tells me that you probably can't charge. The mission though is not very difficult at all. So complete at the end of your turn. 2 or more of your units made 1 or more attacks against the same enemy unit. And that unit lost 1 or more wounds as a result, as we just talked about. So that is a very easy 3 points, to be honest. So yeah.
I feel a lot of these though. If you're behind by 6, you're not gonna win by getting 3 victory points.
Yeah.
And a lot of these seem to make me do things that I'm either doing anyway. There's like a sympathy VP. So
it's a weird. So we kind of talked about it. So Danny was alluding to the fact that there's some secondaries that you don't score right away. You kind of score after, so like sabotage. So when you identify who gets the challenger, you actually don't count that sabotage score. So you may not be down by 6. You're maybe only down by 3, but you still get the challenger.
Oh.
So that's an interesting gimmick. Or in some scenarios, I've heard a lot of people talk about taking fixed. Because a lot of times you can score very little at the beginning of the game and maybe a lot. So if you're choosing like bring it down or assassinate or whatever the case may be, you're not going to score a ton at the beginning. You would have access to these challenger cards at the beginning of the game. So it's really interesting how this is going to kind of change the flow of the game. And even I think fixed could be back on the menu. When it comes to this. So yeah.
Danny, are you more likely to take fix to try and gimmick some of these cards, or are you just going to be a man and just murder your opponent?
Well, depending if murdering my opponent is also on the
not
menu.
literally.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not gonna, dude. Come on, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna do that on here.
You'll find out on the table.
Right. I mean, really, the only time you're using fixed objectives anyway is if your opponent has a real skew list. So I don't see like going.
He did the heavy sigh.
Yeah, John's upset because of knights.
Yeah. Nice.
When I played the new pack against a War Dog pack last weekend. And I chose not to take fixed objectives because I wanted to see the other new objectives, which was more fun. Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't do that.
Did you still win?
Yes.
Was it against New Knights?
Yes.
Sorry, just
But
give me a second.
there were a couple points where I was pretty afraid, and the lion got shanked by a rampager, which was
Yeah,
sad.
he did. Screw that guy.
So
Well, fantastic.
So we did also have a June balance update. So not a lot changed. So here's the important one for John. John, you don't have to get up and walk away. No core rules changes. Really came
False.
out of this.
Wrong. Anecdotal.
Fair enough. But there was, however, new detachments. GW's been really happy about these new detachments that they're giving everyone. So we had 3 detachments, and 2 of them are just super cool. So we had Space Marines, which is or Chaos Space Marines, sorry, Cabal of Chaos. It's kind of like a weird Psyker Demon Prince thing.
I didn't even read this.
I'm not even
heavy detachment themed around sorcerers and DP.
Yeah, it gives. So when you're near demon princes, you get AP buff on melee, and when you're near sorcerers, you get a strength buff on your shooting attacks. It's cute. I don't think it's gonna see the light of day personally. Who knows? But I have heard, and I'm sure Danny's heard, Dark Angels: The Wrath of the Rock detachment.
Oh, you mean the detachment that I ran last weekend?
I totally think the reason he's building ATVs right now is completely unrelated.
I'm building one, so I wanted one.
So durably focused,
That's what I
boosts
said.
elite infantry and mounted units. Danny, tell me about this detachment.
Oh, there are times when I imagine what having a nearly perfect suite of stratagems would look like.
Yeah.
And then Games Workshop released Wrath of the Rock, and my dream got a little bit closer to fruition. Not everything is like the best version of a stratagem, but it has so many good strats.
So what's the detachment rule for?
So the detachment rule is many transhuman. So if the strength of the attack is over your toughness, you're -1 to wound on infantry and mounted units. Which is great on my 4 wound, 2+, 4++, -1 damage Terminators. It's also good on my inner circle, which are -1 to hit when they contain a character. Also have a 4+ invulnerable save and 3 wounds.
Yep.
They have access to a Feel No Pain against mortals. All those units do. So yeah, there's lots of units that really touches on very well. They also have other great stratagems like a second Oath of Moment target stratagem, which they can do. They have a an advance and charge stratagem. They even have a strat for charging units in your opponent's charge phase, which is just lovely.
Okay, well, I've heard a lot about it. The durability is definitely a thing to look at. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure John remembers this. Dealing with those goddamn Terminators was just a pain in the ass, and this sounds like it's all a brand new pain in the ass. So
I seem to remember a tournament outside of Fairbanks, Danny, where I think you took to young Timothy. A giant brick of invulnerable Terminators.
Yep.
And it's
sort of like that, John. But I'm not taking one. I'm just taking 1 5-man Terminators in my list right now. Because there's other stuff that I like. Oh, there's a strat for +2 strength on ranged weapons, which changes like a bunch of units. Like, okay, it makes Eradicators like unbelievable when they go to strength 11 on their shots. Because they're wounding the like really good tanks on 4s now instead of 5s, or potentially wounding toughness 9 tanks now instead of 4s. You're wounding them on or toughness 10 tanks. You're wounding on 3s instead of 5s.
What about dog shit toughness 9 war dogs, Danny?
John, they kill so many war dogs, dude. And then furthermore, you can take a unit of 10 Stern Guard vets. Stern Guard also get this -1 to wound ability. You can put Azrael in there, so now they also have sustained hits, and you have double oath targets, so they can reroll to wound rolls. So you can like blast one unit, kill it because you have like 30 shots with dev wounds, and then switch it to another unit, charge in with Asriel, where he gets 6 attacks hitting on 2s with sustained 1 that are strength 6, rerolling wound rolls at strength 6 -4, 2 flat damage with dev wounds. So you're getting more dev wounds. He chopped. Asriel himself first did like 4 damage to one knight, and the rest of the squad killed it. Then charged a different war dog and did 10 damage to that war dog, which is just, it's beautiful, John. I've seen it before, but it's even more pretty when it happens on a consistent basis.
Just this completely unrelated. That Fairbanks RTT was an RTT I won, and it was nothing to do with the fact that we avoided each other because I submarined.
It was a good tournament.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that was on the record. That my win was not because I submarined round 1 and avoided you rounds 2 and 3.
Well, I had to play Wally O'Donnell and Tim Hubsher in the same tournament, so I feel like I worked really hard for that win.
You did. It was a great second place.
Our last detachments.
There's very few times I can do that to Danny and Dickie. Don't cut me off.
Sorry, I apologize. I didn't want to extend a bit. Tyranids got a new detachment, and it's super cool. It's called the Subterranean Assault. They basically put little like tunnels on the battlefield, and things can just pop out and deep strike within 6 inches of it.
That's cool.
It's really cool. Also, I wrote this, and I didn't know if Raveners had the keyword. I looked at it today. Actually, new Raveners are not only do they have the keyword, and they also have the Vanguard keyword, and they're goddamn amazing. So they're now AP2, I think Strength 5, AP2 2 damage. They used to be 1 damage.
Nice.
So super good. And they got their kill team, which is like a command unit that you attach to Raveners. That's super cool as well. So I think it looks like a lot of fun. I am not a smart enough person, so I'm going to let Dustin Henshaw figure this detachment out, and I'll let Danny figure out the rock.
Well,
I saw a guy doing double Hierophant with this, where he'd like bring them in via the tunnels.
Jesus Christ. Okay. That's cool.
I mean, you just not show up on the table.
Yeah.
And then, like,
Mark Murphy,
be like, here's 2 Trigons and 2 Hierophants. Have fun.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to like get your like. I know the Screamer Killer has been a model that we've never seen in the play, but actually Screamer Killer like slams in combat. And his biggest problem, he was so goddamn slow. Now, if you could just deep strike him 6 inches, he's got a shot for a charge. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You guys, by the way, making it real hard for us not to do this live because chat's on fire tonight. Mark Murphy coming in saying Subterranean Assault has been the most fun he's had with 40k in a long time.
Yeah.
And it does seem to be the cool way to play Tyranids, because I always enjoyed when I played Tyranids back in the day. I enjoyed the idea of Molochs, but not the execution of Molochs.
Oh, you can also make a Trigon a Prime with an enhancement. So you can basically make a Trigon a character, and you turn him into the Prime Trigon, which is super cute. So, yeah.
That's
Big
cool.
Jealous. Can't wait for me to get exciting detachment.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll get another one. I know I'm looking forward to new detachments. I think this is a cool thing when they add new detachments. I just hope they can balance them well. Everyone remembers Mordaka. But unfortunately, with balanced data slates, John and Danny, there's some winners and losers.
Womp womp.
So the losers of this balanced data slate, well, Yanari. Yanari has been...
Can I just say, for the benefit of the audio listener, I want to read Dickie's note that he has on screen. This is a summary of the changes to Yanari. He says, Yanari are dead. Now, Danny, as someone who follows Eldari mostly in lore, isn't this a good thing for Yanari?
John, you can't really kill something that's already dead. So I think it's just a matter of time before they rear their stupid broken head again. There'll be some unit that gets a points drop, and it'll seem dumb, and then we'll be all back in the same place again with out of phase movement. So And like I'm glad that they changed it so it's not quite as much out of phase movement.
Mhm.
But I'm glad that Euphraine doesn't let her squad just reroll 2 wound rolls against one target that she picks. Like that's freaking wild.
Yeah.
Also, they could have always strikes first. Like really dumb. Big squad of incubi feels.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yep.
Let's jump in here real quick. Narrative Neville. What army did I win with? I won with Death Guard. And it was great because the only reason I won that event was round 3. My Custodes opponent was very overconfident about his bikes, and he charged 18 jet bikes into the range of 2 of the Blight Spawn, and they had fights last into Dash
Oh
Route.
dear. Classic Custodian.
Yeah.
So Eldari got the patented 3 times nerf, so they got
Triple nerf.
rules, they got
Danny,
points, and
just to jump in here real quick. Like, I remember we played TTS a while ago. Whatever happened to that really great Emperor's Children army you played? The one with like the Noise Marines and the Demon Princes?
Yeah. Well, John, my Noise Marines and Demon Princes all went up in points, as did Lucius. So I think my army went up 100 points, like on the nose.
That much?
Yeah.
Oof.
So, and like I didn't have much in the army anyway, so like losing a whole unit out of the army feels extra bad.
I remember what you were saying at the start, almost jokingly, about kind of how it being like fine-tuned and the slightest change would screw it up. But yeah, looking back, that hits that kind of really hard.
Like all the units in my army.
Yeah. Dickie, what happened to the Emperor's Children?
So Flying Demon Princes, I think, went up 15 points.
Yep.
And Noise Marines went up 10 points, so they went up to 145 from 135.
30.
Yeah. So
and Lucius went up 15.
And Lucius went up 15. I was less, and actually I will say Fulgrim went down in points. So
Sure.
Hey, it's
but he should have gone down way more points than he did.
Yeah, he's closer to playable. It's not playable yet, but he's closer to playable.
You guys both have Emperor's Children armies.
Yeah.
You saw sizable changes to a lot of the core things that people were taking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that they were fair changes to that Emperor's Children, or were they too far?
It was.
The Demon Prince should have gone up.
Yeah, the Demon Prince was gross. Like, it was very good.
I don't think the Noise Marines should have gone up, though.
Yeah,
they're
Noise
really
Marines. Noise Marines are very good. I think Noise Marines going up was more of them being a Renegade Raiders unit than them being in an Emperor's Children unit, personally. Because them in Renegade Raiders being AP2 no cover and AP3 no cover is such a big deal.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
So I think Emperor's Children probably got hit on the head because of that more than anything else. But
the sins of the father.
Yeah, pretty much. And the most confusing loser, poor orcs. Not only did they destroy Daka from under their noses, but then they said no more. So basically, they gave
we're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not done yet. They gave more increases to units like the shock attack gun and units like Ludas. And the Ludas, like, no one's taking Ludas because they're not taking Daka. So
I can just imagine a GW event. Let's say Edmonton just happened. GW Edmonton happened. And some guy goes to Stu Black, like, "Oh, I love your work. It's really good. I have this orc army here and I love it so much." And Stu's like, "The fuck did you just say to me?"
Yeah. There must be the most, like, the person must hate orcs so much in the GW balance department because they cannot be good for more than a month. And if they're good for a month, like we saw with the Bully Boys when they first came out, we saw, like, it's just I think the orc hatred at the GW.
So, like every play group has like one really good player, right? And then it's kind of like a Christmas tree of goodness in most play groups where you have like one really good person and then it kind of narrows down into more bad players. Do you think the person at the top of the goodness pyramid at GWHQ is an orc player?
It may be, yeah.
And they're just like,
possible.
I mean, I don't know. This guy kicks our ass every time. These orcs must be too good.
It's possible. If
You know
I
what's
didn't know,
wild?
go ahead.
Like, Cult of Speed got a
Buff.
stealth buff,
Yeah,
and they're still bad.
yeah.
What buff
Like,
did you get?
all the buggies went down 5 to 10
And
points.
I think they can advance and do.
And they
everything.
get advance and charge,
Yeah.
or advance, shoot, advance and
back.
shoot, and advance and charge.
Yeah.
But they lost, or no, they didn't lose anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
or
they're
fall
just-
back and shoot and charge.
they're
But they
just
did
brutal
pick
to,
one or
like-
the other. For.
Yeah, they're just brutal to move around the table. Their bases
Yeah.
are so giant. So yeah.
And I think, Danny, that was a problem you ran into when you ran that buggy heavy list, was just movement was kind of an issue.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't have units that could hit hit hard well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And war bikes should not be the points that they are. They're overpriced. I'm glad the Def Coptas went down a bit. But yeah, just disappointing. The buggy should not be anywhere close to 70 points. They should be like 50 to 60 points a piece, I feel like.
Yeah, so orcs caught one hell of a stray. They had Daka for less than, I think, a month, and they're going to pay for it for probably the next year, I think. So sorry, orcs.
The old AdMech treatment.
Yeah. But with losers, there's some winners. And well, Death Guard is automatically a winner because they didn't change everything, and their points are really good, and they're very strong. Blood Angels, for some reason, points decrease. Thanks, Josh Roberts, who is the guy that writes the balanced data slate.
Mhm.
I wonder. And he also
John,
Are you two friends?
I wish, buddy, reach out. I enjoy the changes. There's some
really, yeah, it's nice.
there's some, like the Sanguinary Guard going down for a 3-man is pretty good. I would rather that they went down for a 6-man.
Yeah,
but I understand. The Death Company changes are cute, like super cute, and like I like the little jank bullshit I can do with that now.
Yeah.
I think Danny was telling you in Angelic Inheritors. I can technically make my Death Company a Blood Angels character for a turn so they can score. Because the rule has changed from being within 12 inches of a chaplain to have OC, it's being within 6 inches of a Blood Angels character. And if you use that Angelic Inheritors strat to make a unit a character, that fulfills the requirements. The balanced data slates also made me look at Memphiston and be like, how do I squeeze you in? Because 120 for him is pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in general, I think there's good changes. I wish the Death Company went down in points. Steve Trimble, buddy, I love you, but I hate how you point out why is that. Like I'm like, hey, I really like this unit, and you're like, cool, it's 70 points more than 3 Sanguinary Guard. And I'm like, God damn it, yeah, but don't say that. Just be happy that I like these guys. Yeah,
no, it's all about efficiency, John. If you're not trying to win, if you're not trying to push that, you're bad.
I mean, that's guilty as charged. 100% agreed.
Steve's a great guy. Love Steve. But also, Steve has a one-track mind. And if your army isn't 100% pure aggression, like that's not the kind of army that Steve likes to play. If you play with nuance and tactical movement, no. That's not for him.
All gas, no break.
He is the mailed fist of the Emperor incarnate. He is a Custodes player through and through. So just remember that when you're taking advice from Mr. Trimble.
It would be why he keeps on recommending the gold armor guys.
Same.
Maybe.
Yeah. Interesting.
Love Steve though. And sometimes that shit just works.
Yeah.
It just does.
When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yep.
That's why he won 6 last year, right?
Yep.
Chaos, Space Marines, a couple units got a big glow up that we haven't seen in a while, actually. So our favorite boy, Vashtor, the Lord of Mechanical Things, he got an upgrade. So he's actually a little cooler now. So he actually gives +2 strength to demon engines around him in the shooting phase, which is pretty cute. When Forge Fiends are strength 10, they go to strength 12.
That's good.
I tell you what, your little knights do not like strength 12 Forge Fiends, John.
My little knights also don't like strength 9 guns now. Let's
That's true. So
Strength
that's pretty
against.
cute. He also has, I think he's had this before, but he has like if you target him, it's a hazardish. He's also always -1 to hits. What else? His attacks are a lot better. He has a really good sweep attack that basically all his attacks have dev wounds now. So
Well, he is a demigod, so
I think he's actually pretty playable. I don't know if his detachment's playable. I think there's more testing to do there. But you know him, you love him. The Lord Discordant got a reef. Oh, Danny, sorry, am I fucking boring you?
He does not
Jesus
love the Lord
Christ.
Discordant.
I have 3 Painted Lord Discordants, Dickie.
Yeah, so the Lord Discordant got one hell of a glow up. So it got a 4-up in vulnerable save. It moves 14 inches. Its attacks are way better. He only had 4 attacks with his lance. Now he has 5 attacks. Strength 8 lance.
That's 25% better.
-2, 3 flat damage on his lance. Pretty good. He also has new upgraded abilities. Basically, he has like a mini grenade if he points it at a vehicle. He also has like a buff for your whole army. So he basically, if you see a target, your whole army gets reroll 1s to wound against it. That's pretty good, dude. Pretty good.
Be good.
So those are the 2 big Chaos Space Marine buffs. And then for some unknown reason, Necrons got race points down. Let me say this again, because I know you just threw up in your mouth, because I did.
Is that a wreath point?
Yeah.
Wraith. Oh, did I wreath point it?
You made it Christmassy. It will also say you're talking to 2 people with sizable Necron armies.
Yeah, but dude, even you guys know that Wraith shouldn't go down in points.
I mean, I
Well,
have
I don't know.
like
I haven't
12
seen
of
a
them.
wraith in a long time, Dickie.
Fuck you, you haven't seen a Wraith in a long time. They're everywhere, and now they're cheaper.
We
I
don't
don't
really celebrate the holidays like that over here.
You know
Jewish
what?
assholes.
Bah fucking humbug. I don't want to see a goddamn Wraith anywhere. Why
You
do they
only
go
don't
down?
want to see them when they have technomancers attached to them.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Wraiths. No
Not
one
like-
wants to see Wraiths.
I do.
They're bullshit.
That's true.
Uh,
I wanna see them.
Adeptus, they're really trying to make.
Now, can I
ladies-
read this here for you, Dickie? Because I know you're rushing through here, but I just want to make sure I read this right. Big points drops and a big butt to Champions of Faith.
No, I said big buff. It says big
Oh.
buff to champion. No, I did no big,
Big
butts.
butts.
And I
Champions of
cannot
Faith.
lie. It is not big butts. It's only big buffs.
All right, I'm going to look, Dickie, while you're talking about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I don't think they got that many big points drops.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, they got some big points drops. Sorry, please continue.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. Oh, no,
I
you're
was-
right. So they're like inches. I don't know if this is gonna make them a 50+% win rate, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for you, sister player. Tau.
Well,
let's
for
talk about-
sisters,
Yeah.
didn't the new mission pack mean they only get like 4/5 of the points that the male armies do because they earn less over time?
I'm not sure that's how the game works, but I'll have to talk to the sisters player when I see them next.
Rude. They did get some nice buffs for like Zephyrim got a nice buff.
Yeah. It looks very interesting. I know a lot of people are taking a look at them again. Tau, though, let's talk about Tau. So Tau,
You got a new grove? Like an orange grove?
I had to write this really fast. So they got a new groove.
Like
also,
Stella?
Yeah, they also got a new grove. So they their whole gimmick, their whole concept on how they
Was their virginity, I know. Like, okay, moving on. Like, so they have sex now. What can they
hate
do
you
now?
guys
to
so
Just
do
have
much.
ethereals walking around
Awkward.
naked because they got new invisible clothes.
well 3D print that immediately.
Emperor's
Okay, so their whole spotting mechanic has changed. It's much better. Basically, you have one unit that spots a unit, and then everything in your army that targets that unit gets the spotted buff. Okay, it is much easier because back before times, a week ago, you basically had to do I'm scouting for this unit, and you had to it's specifically 1-for-1. Now it's much more relaxed, much more easier to do. Do I think Tower going to be great again? No, but maybe. Have you heard the Tiger Shark is still not Legends? So that is
Bullshit.
also important to know that you don't get the minus for split firing anymore for Tau. so they don't get
Yeah.
that negative.
Quick question for smart people smarter than me. Have
Danny?
the Forge World
No.
Knights been legended?
For Chaos, you mean?
Mhm.
I haven't seen anything yet for the Agipros or anything like that, so no.
Because it would be a real shame if there was a bunch of toughness 10 war dogs that I could take.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just noodling. You go on
Just
ahead.
noodle. So Tau looked very interesting. Definitely a glow up. I've seen some people testing, and they are much easier to use. You actually have the ability to not show your whole army to shoot a few things, which was one of the biggest problems that Tau had to deal with. So yeah, but all in all, those are your winners.
Yeah, going through
So-
the chat here. Playing against Danny's warrior break was a joy. / sarcasm from Kim.
Hey, get it?
Weird.
Which I remember playing against that as well. Because it was the focus fire, and you might kill a unit, and if you don't kill that unit, the entire unit's going to be back.
Baloney,
You'd love to
Tony.
see it, John.
Did you though?
I did. Every time. It's great.
So, gentlemen, I would like
Yeah.
to formally welcome
Ooh.
you to the new meta, the new 40K.
What's everyone playing now with this balance update coming? I'm sticking with my Blood Angels just because I had my Chaos Knights lost too much and it made me sad. So I'm sticking with Blood Angels. Danny,
I'm playing Dark Angels again.
we're just some
I
angels.
love
of death.
Dark Angels. Detachments that are annoyingly tough to kill are pretty much my favorite thing in the world. Like hence Necrons, hence these guys. So yeah, I'm kind of right back in my wheelhouse, and I get to murder stuff. And the lion got much better. So like, yeah, I'm excited.
Dickie, post slate, where are you?
Still on World Eater's Demonkin. It's a super fun detachment. The surprise bloodletter stratagem is so good.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna stick with them for a bit. They're a lot of fun, and Forge Fiends shoot real good. So yeah.
I just like the only thing I'm sticking with Blood Angels. The only thing that's making me question things now is detachment. And outside of that, like I'm still pretty set, but it's making me question whether I should change detachments or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vicky, thank you so much for that awesome run through.
That was awesome. Good
Oh,
job.
yeah.
That was super helpful. Next week, we are going to be not here with an only hand, not here with the mob rules, but it turns out when you cancel a show like Grim After Dark and you don't tell the person who helped create it, they get annoyed and want to come on for the last episode.
Oh,
So you lie and you're like, yeah, our last episode's next week. So next week, last
So I
ever
gotta
Grim.
put the furniture back in too.
Yeah.
Let's
or
see.
maybe like an
Make
empty-
him do it.
Yeah, make him do it. He can produce the last one.
He owns the furniture anyway.
Yeah, so we'll be back talking about all things Grim, and I'll still be painting, so I've got a shitload left to do. Then 2 weeks from now, we'll be back for Mob Rules when, mark it down, we are going to be putting on our Hasselhoff tier system. It's going to be a tier list of all of the Codex covers from 10th edition. It sounds shit, but it's actually going to be really, really solid. I think is the best way to sell it.
Oh.
Danny's quit. He's like, it's going to be bad.
It's gonna be bad.
But for Mob Rules, which is a wonderful thing to say, it will be live with Val Sherman. It'll probably be live again with Mob Rules because I'm bad at planning right now. But for Mob Rules, I've been John.
I've been Dickie.
And here's a whistling commercial over whatever Dickie put on here. I'm just telling you that so you know, and not so Dickie can mute things.
He'll have you wetting your whistle
Hey, what's
and
up?
whistling along. His new album, Earl Whistles Disney, is sure to be a hit with all generations. Order now and receive a bonus album, Earl Whistles More Shit, a collection of previously unreleased material of Earl's favorite songs through the years. On this bonus album, he demonstrates his newly mastered technique of inward whistling.
What a lady.
Order yours today on compact disc.